Today we will continue the chapter, The Night Train at Deori. In the previous class, I told you that in page number 43, we came to know that when the train stopped at the Deori station, the narrator saw a girl selling baskets, and the girl came to him asking whether he would buy a basket. In page number 43, see the last line. We stood looking at each other for what seemed a very long time, and she said, "Are you sure you don't want a basket?" So when the girl asked the narrator whether he would buy a basket, the narrator said that he doesn't want to buy the basket. Now we come to page number 45. I'll read the chapter. "All right, give me one," I said, and I took the one on top and gave her a rupee, hardly daring to touch her fingers. As she was about to speak, the guard blew his whistle. She said something, but it was lost in the clanging of the bell and the hissing of the engine. I had to run back to my compartment. The carriage shuddered and jolted forward. So, when the girl asked the narrator about buying the basket, the narrator agreed, and he told her to give her the basket. And he gave her a rupee. He didn't want to touch the girl's finger. As she was about to, and the narrator had to board the train. So it was lost in the clanging of the bell. She said something, but it was not heard because the bell was already clanging. And the hissing of the engine. So the engine started earlier. Engines used to have steam engines, so they started hissing, and he had to run back and board the bus. The carriage shuddered and jolted forward. Here I have written the meaning of shudder, that is trembled. So the carriage trembled and jolted, moved forward. I watched her as the platform slipped away. She was alone at the platform and she did not move, but she was looking at me and smiling. So after boarding the train, what did the narrator do? He looked at the girl, or he was just watching the girl as the train moved forward. And what did he notice once again? That already we came to know that Deori station was a lonely platform. She was all alone at the platform and she did not move, but she was looking at him and smiling. She was a very pleasant looking girl. So what was she doing? She was giving a smile as she was bidding her goodbye. I watched her until the signal box came in the way, and then the jungle hit the station. But I could still see her standing there alone. So gradually when the train moved forward, so the girl was left behind at the platform, and then again gradually she was faded away, because on the way what all things came, signal box, then the jungle, as we came to know that Terai jungle was there, so the jungle hit the station. But still the narrator could see the girl standing there. The next line we come to know, I sat up awake for the rest of the journey. I could not rid my mind of the picture of the girl's face and her dark, smoldering eyes. Again children will see the synonym of smoldering, that is burning. So her eyes were burning. Her eyes, she had dark. Already we came to know earlier in the other page, the previous page, that she has stressed eyes. She had dark eyes, smoldering eyes, as if her eyes were speaking, as if her eyes were stressed out. So here I sat up awake for the rest of the journey. He couldn't sleep. He was just thinking of pondering over, thinking of the girl, because the girl had left an indelible imprint in the narrator's mind. He had been thinking of the girl, and he couldn't get rid. Get rid means forget. Get rid, again you have a phrase like this. Could not get rid of my mind of the picture of the girl's face and her dark, smoldering eyes, burning eyes. Burning eyes, that is stressed eyes, as if the eyes were telling something, or curious, eager eyes. But when I reached Dehra, the incident became blurred and distant, for there were other things to occupy my mind. So children, when we are alone, we memorize, we recall things. But the moment we are busy, we forget things. So he said, when I reached Dehra, who was there in Dehra? Dehra, grandmother's place. And again children, I remind you, where was the narrator going? The narrator was going to spend his vacation with his grandmother. So when he went there, those things became blurred. Blurred is faded. He forgot. Almost that was not in his mind anymore. For there were other things to occupy his mind. It was only when I was making the return journey 2 months later that I remembered the girl. So again, why did he remember after 2 months? Because because he was returning and was passing by the same route. So when he was passing by, he again had to cross the station Devli. So again when he was coming towards Delhi, again that girl's memory was refreshed in his mind. I was looking out for her as the train drew into the station. Again, the train drew into the return journey. Also, the train had to stop at the Delhi station. How many minutes? 10 minutes. And I felt an unexpected thrill when I saw her walking up the platform. Already he was taken away by the beauty, by the smoldering eyes of the girl. So again, when he thought of the girl, he was very happy and thrilled because he was thrilled to see the girl walking up the platform. I sprang off the footboard and waved to her. So he thought that the girl might remember him also. So what did he do? He stood up and he waved the girl. So waving means saying that just to see that yes, I am here. So he waved to her. When she saw me, she smiled. She was pleased that I remembered her. And the girl was just selling buses. She was a poor girl. She was not from a well-to-do family or a rich family like the narrator. And we often forget children. When we are in journey, we see many people selling things coming to us, and we often forget. But when this narrator waved to the girl who was selling a basket, she was very happy. Why she was happy? She was pleased that the narrator, who was a passenger, remembered her. I was pleased that she remembered me. We were both pleased, and it was almost like a meeting of old friends. So the narrator waved her in such a way as if she was her friend. So that was a meeting of old friends. It the girl assumed as if they were old friends. The meeting, the scenario was set there as if they were meeting. They were old friends, so they were meeting there after a long time. She did not go down the length of the train selling baskets, but came straight to the tea stall. Why? Because that was the only place where the narrator met the girl at the station. And when he just walked towards the tea stall, the girl followed the narrator and asked him to buy the basket. So where did she go? She did not go to the train, but she came straight to the tea stall. Her dark eyes were suddenly filled with light, as if she was very happy. She was very excited. She was very pleased to see the narrator. So her eyes, which looked stressed out earlier, they had a ray of hope, lighted up. We said nothing for some time, but we couldn't have been more eloquent. So they were meeting after they met after a long time. They could not speak anything, but they couldn't have been more eloquent. They looked at each other. They said nothing for some time. I felt the impulse to put her on the train there and take her away with me. I could not bear the thought of having to watch her recede into the distance of Devli station. So what did the narrator feel that moment? He had a feeling, he had a thought that he could have taken the girl along with him. So that was his feeling. He couldn't leave. He couldn't think of even leaving the girl alone there and going to his place. He wanted to take him. He's saying, see the line, I felt the impulse to put her on the train there and then. He wanted to take the girl along with him. That was the impulse, what was there in his mind. He felt that, he had that feeling. And take her away with me. I could not bear the thought of having to watch her recede into the distance, to move away into the distance of Devli station. I took the baskets from her hand and put them down on the ground. She put out her hand for one of them, but I caught her hand and held it. So what did he wanted to shake hand with him or touch the girl? So what happened? He put the basket down, but he caught her hand and held it. I have to go to Delhi, I said. Okay. So the narrator said, I have to go to Delhi. She nodded. I do not have to go anywhere. The guard blew his whistle for the train to leave, and how I hated the guard for doing that. He didn't want to go from that place. But what was the thing? The train stopped there for 10 minutes, and so he had to go. So he told the girl that I have to go to Delhi, and the girl nodded. I do not have to go anywhere. He said, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be here. But what? The guard blew the whistle, and the narrator has to leave the place. I will come again, I said. Will you be there? Will you be here? So what did the narrator say? That again when I visit the next time, will you be there? I come here to meet you. She nodded again, and as she nodded, the bell clanked and the train slid forward. Again, here you see the meaning of the synonym of the word clank, chimney, ran. So what happened, usually what used to happen earlier in the station, the bell used to clank. So when the bell chimed, the train slid forward. I had to wrench my hand away from the girl and run for the moving train. Why? Because he had to leave. He had no option to stay there. He had to go. He didn't want to go, but he had to go. So as the bell chimed and the train slid forward, he had to wrench his hand away from the girl, and he has to just take his hand away from the girl and go to the train, board the train. This time I did not forget her. Remember, children, in earlier he said that here you come to this paragraph, fifth paragraph. When he was going to his grandma's place, he reached there and the incident became blurred and distant. He forgot the girl. But when during his return he met the girl, then again when he was going to his parents' place, here he says, this line you see, this time. So here he means that this time, again after meeting the girl for the second time, he did not forget her. She was with me for the remainder of the journey and for long after. He says this time now, he did not forget the girl, but she remained in her memory for long. All that year she was bright, living thing. So throughout, after that also, after reaching her parents' place also, he couldn't forget the girl. She was just a living thing in his mind. And when the college term finished, I packed in haste and left for Dehra earlier than usual. My grandmother would be pleased at my eagerness to see her. So he says that when every year he used to visit his grandma's place during summer vacation. So he says again all that year she was bright living thing, and when the college term finished, he packed his bag in haste is hurry, and left for Dehra earlier than usual. Usually he used to go in after when the summer vacation commenced, but here he says when I finished my college term, he packed his bag and he went to Dehra, he left for Dehra earlier than usual. So this is the meaning of the word earlier than usual. My grandmother would be pleased at my eagerness to see her. And the grandmother, usually grandparents are very happy to see their grandchildren. So when he reached there to his grandma's place before his summer vacation, grandma was very happy. She was pleased to see at my eagerness to see her. The grandma thought that her grandchild was eager, was curious to see her. Page number 46. I was nervous and anxious as the train drew into Deoli because I was wondering what I should say to the girl and what I should do. I was determined that I wouldn't stand helplessly before her, hardly able to speak or do anything about my feelings. The train came to Deoli and I looked up and down the platform, but I could not see the girl anywhere. So now what happened, he was nervous and anxious as the train drew into Deoli. Why? Because what was in his mind, he wanted to see the girl and but at the same time, what was in his mind, he was confused or he was wondering what he would say to the girl. But he was determined that he wouldn't stand helplessly before her, hardly able to speak, because earlier whenever they met, they were hardly able to speak to each other. The train came to Deoli and the narrator looked up and down the platform. What he was looking for, the girl, but he couldn't see the girl anywhere. I opened the door and stepped off the footboard. I was deeply disappointed and overcame by a sense of foreboding. So what was the narrator doing? The narrator wanted to see the girl, but he couldn't see the girl. So what did he do? He stepped out of the footboard, but he was disappointed by a sense of foreboding. What was going on in his mind? Foreboding. Foreboding means what? A feeling that something bad will happen. So there was a feeling in his mind that something bad will happen. So he had that feeling in his mind. I felt I had to do something, and so I ran up to the station master and said, "Do you know the girl who used to sell baskets here?" "No, I don't," said the station master. "And you will better get on the train if you don't want to be left behind." So he went on, as he couldn't see the girl, so he was curious, he was anxious. So he went to the station master, inquiring about the girl. So he says that, "Do you know the girl?" And what was the answer of the station master gave? That no, he doesn't know about the girl. And he asked him, or he advised him to board the train, or else he would be left behind. But I paced up and down the platform and stared over the railings at the station yard. All I saw was a mango tree and a dusty road leading into the jungle. Where did the road go? The train was moving out of the station, and I had to run up the platform and jump for the door of my compartment. Then as the train gathered speed and rushed through the forest, I sat brooding in front of the window. So now what happened? The narrator couldn't see the girl. The train moved and stared over the railings at the station. What could he see? He could see the mango tree and a dusty road leading into the jungle. He didn't know where did the road go to. But what was he was looking? He was looking for the girl to see, and he had no other option to do. So what did he do? He sat brooding. Brooding means thinking over. Sad brooding, gloomy. He was gloomy, so he was brooding, thinking over in front of the window. What could I do about finding a girl I had seen only twice, who had hardly spoken to me, and about whom I knew nothing, absolutely nothing, but for whom I felt a tenderness and responsibility that I had never felt before. Now he was brooding over, he was thinking that where he could find a girl whom he has met only twice, and they had not spoken, the girl has not spoken anything, and he didn't know anything about the girl. Here he says absolutely nothing, I don't know anything about the girl for whom I felt a tenderness, but he had a soft corner for the girl. Tenderness, soft corner for the girl, and the responsibility I had not to do. But he who was a stranger, the girl was a stranger to the writer, but he felt the tenderness, and also he felt as if it was his responsibility to look for the girl or see the girl, speak to the girl, know about the girl. My grandmother was not pleased with my visit after all, because I didn't stay at her place more than a couple of weeks. I felt restless and ill at ease. Ill at ease, very sick. He felt sick. Now earlier when he used to visit his grandmother's place, he used to stay there for 2 months. But this time when he visited his grandmother's place, he didn't stay there. So the grandmother was not happy at all. How many days did he stay this time? He stayed there, that place, because I didn't stay there, place more than a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. So he felt restless and he was ill at ease, very sick. So I took the train back to the place, meaning to ask further questions of the station master. This time, why did he visit his grandmother's place? He visited the grandmother's place only to see the girl and talk with the girl. But now, when he couldn't see the girl, he didn't have the peace of mind. So he was not happy at all. So he wanted to return to the station again. I inquired about the girl to the station master. But at Devli, there was a new station master. The previous man had been transferred to another post within the past week. The new man didn't know anything about the girl who sold baskets. I found the owner of the tea stall, a small shriveled up man, wearing greasy clothes, and asked him if he knew anything about the girl with the baskets. So he again, during his return to his parents' place, this time he went to the station master inquiring about the girl. But the previous station master had been transferred. So he went to the tea stall man, he went inquiring about each and every person in the station. To the tea stall, a small man shriveled up wearing greasy clothes, but nobody knew anything about the girl. Yes, but these people, they don't remember. Actually, these hawkers, these girls were hawkers or selling baskets, these poor girls, nobody remembers. So what did they say? They denied the fact that, or they refused to say anything about the girl. Yes, there was such a girl here, I remember quite well, he said, but she has stopped coming now. So what did they say? That is, there was a girl, but she doesn't come now to the place. Why, I asked, what happened to her? How should I know? Said the man. She was nothing to me, and once again I had to run for the train. So when he inquired about that, where is she, why she doesn't come to the station selling baskets, they didn't know anything because the girl was strangers to them and they were not interested like the narrator about the girl. As the only platform receded, I decided that one day I would have to break journey there, spend a day in the town, make inquiries and find the girl who has stolen my heart. Please underline, children, who has stolen my heart with nothing but a look from her dark, impatient eyes. So now again the train has to leave the platform, so he had to board the train and go. But now what did he decide? That next time when he would pass from the station, he would stop there, he would break his journey there, means he would spend a day in the town, make inquiries about the girl. Why? Because the girl has stolen his heart. That strange girl has stolen his heart with nothing but a look from a dark, impatient face. With this, now we'll come to page number 47. With this thought, I consoled myself throughout my last term in college. I went to Dehra again in the summer, and when in the early hours of the morning, the night train drew into the station, I looked up and down the platform for signs of the girl, knowing I wouldn't find her, but hoping just the same. So with that thought, he consoled himself that okay, not this time, but the next time he might see the girl. Again he consoled how I couldn't bring myself to break journey at Devli and spend a day there. In the bracket is written, children, if it was all fiction or a film, fiction is unreal. Film, I reflected, I would have got down and cleaned up the mystery and reached a suitable ending for the whole thing. What was the mystery? A hidden fact, and where did the girl go? What had happened to the girl? These were the thoughts that were in the writer's mind. So he says that somehow he couldn't bring himself to break journey at Devli. will spend a day there. But he thought that if it would not been fiction or film, he could have done so. I think I was afraid to do this. I was afraid of discovering what really happened to the girl. At the same time, he also confessed that he was afraid to know about the girl. He was afraid to know what had happened to the girl. He didn't want to reveal the fact, the truth. Perhaps she was no longer in Deoli, perhaps she was married, perhaps she had fallen ill. Because the writer was taken away by the beauty and by the, you can say, the dark eyes of the girl, he didn't want to know the reality because he no more sees the girl. Whenever he passes through or whenever he passes by the station, he never sees the girl. So these years, I had passed through Deoli many times and I always look out of the carriage window, half expecting to see the same unchanged face smiling up at me. The writer says that in the last few years he had passed through Deoli many times and he always looked out of the carriage window expecting, but here he has used the word half expecting. He was half expecting to see the same unchanged face smiling up at him. So at his heart he wanted to see the girl, but at the same time he didn't want to see the girl because he didn't want to know the reality about the girl, what had happened to the girl in the last years. I wonder what happens in Deoli behind the station walls, but I will never break my journey there. It may spoil my game. I prefer to keep hoping and dreaming and looking out of the window up and down that lonely platform, waiting for the girl with the baskets. He says that he wonders about what happens behind the walls of the station of Deoli. He wanted to, earlier I told you, he was curious to know about the place, Deoli. But he says that now he wonders. But he also says at the same time, earlier he said that he wanted to spend a day there. But now he says, I will never break my journey there. It may spoil my game. What about game? What is the game the writer is talking about? The writer is talking about the thought of thinking about the girl, the thought of waiting for the girl, these feelings created, you can say, an excitement in his heart and mind. He was very happy. He preferred to keep hoping and dreaming to meet the girl. And looking out of the window, that gave him an, you can say, unexpressing, he couldn't express that feeling, that joy, that delight, this excitement. So he was happy, waiting for the girl, looking out of the window, up and down that lonely platform, looking for the girl to come, waiting for the girl with the baskets. In his heart, he has a desire to meet the girl, but at the same time, he didn't want to stop at that place. I never break my journey at Deoli, but I pass through as often as I can. He says, regularly I pass through by the station, but I never break my journey there. But he feels very happy to think about the girl, to look for the girl, dream for the girl, and so he was very happy about it. So here we come to the end of the chapter, children. Thank you.